Have you ever watched a young person speak to an older person? Like they were slow, useless, or in the way. Maybe it happened at a grocery store, when an elderly man took a little too long to count his change. Maybe it happened at a family dinner, when a grandmother tried to share advice and everyone rolled their eyes. Or maybe it happened online, where someone older asked a simple question and was instantly mocked by people half their age. At first, it looks like plain rudeness, a lack of manners, a failure of upbringing. But beneath the surface, something much deeper is happening. Because when young people treat older people badly, it is rarely only about age. It is about fear, power, speed, resentment, shame. And the strange way modern society teaches us to value human beings. And perhaps the saddest part is this. Every older person was once young. And every young person, if they are lucky, is slowly becoming the very thing they sometimes dismiss. So why do so many young people treat older people badly? The first reason is that modern life has made youth feel like the center of everything. We live in a culture that worships speed, beauty, energy, productivity, and novelty. The young body is advertised everywhere. The young voice is amplified online. The young face becomes the symbol of relevance. We are constantly told to move faster, learn faster, look better. Stay updated, stay competitive, stay visible. In a world like this, aging can begin to look like failure. Not because it is failure, but because society quietly teaches us that a person's worth is connected to how useful, attractive, fast, or current they appear to be. An older person may walk more slowly, speak more carefully, struggle with new technology, or repeat a story they have told before. And to a young person trained by speed, this can feel irritating. Not because the older person has done anything wrong, but because they interrupt the rhythm of a world obsessed with efficiency. A young cashier may sigh when an older customer cannot figure out the card machine. A teenager may laugh when a parent does not understand a new app. A young employee may dismiss an older coworker as outdated because they do not use the latest software shortcut. But what looks like impatience is often a symptom of a society that has forgotten how to slow down for people. The second reason is psychological. Older people remind young people of something they do not want to face. Aging is one of the few truths nobody can escape. We can distract ourselves from it. We can hide it with products, filters, jokes, and ambition. But deep down, everyone knows where life is going. When a young person sees an older person struggling to hear, walking carefully, or needing help, they may feel an unconscious discomfort. It is not always cruelty. Sometimes it is fear wearing a mask. The older person becomes a mirror. A quiet reminder that the young body will not always stay young. that independence can weaken. That beauty changes. That time is not something we own. And when people do not know how to sit with that truth, they often push it away. They mock what scares them. They dismiss what makes them uncomfortable. They act superior to what they secretly fear becoming. This is why some young people do not simply ignore older people. They speak down to them. They treat them like they are less intelligent, less capable, or less worthy of being heard. It creates distance. It allows the young person to think, that is them, not me. But of course, time does not respect that illusion. The third reason is resentment. Many young people today feel overwhelmed. They are told they must work harder, compete harder, earn more, and somehow build a stable life in a world that often feels unstable. Housing feels expensive. Jobs feel insecure. Social media makes everyone feel behind. The future can seem less like a promise and more like a threat. In that emotional pressure, older generations can become easy targets. A young person may look at an older person and think, "You had it easier. You bought homes cheaper. You created the problems we now have to live with." Sometimes there is some truth inside this frustration. Every generation inherits the decisions of the one before it. But resentment becomes dangerous when it turns a whole age group into a villain. An older woman standing in line is not personally responsible for the housing market. An older man asking for help with his phone is not personally responsible for economic inequality. A retired teacher, nurse, mechanic, or factory worker may have struggled quietly for decades in ways younger people never see. Every generation has its privileges. But every generation also has its wounds. The fourth reason is that many families pass down emotional wounds without explaining them. Some young people treat older relatives badly because they grew up feeling judged, controlled, ignored, or misunderstood by them. A grandfather may have been cold. A mother may have been critical. A father may have demanded obedience instead of conversation. So when the young person finally gains independence, their anger comes out as disrespect. On the surface, it looks like arrogance. But underneath, it may be self-protection. At the same time, older people often carry their own wounds. Many were raised in homes where emotions were not discussed. They were taught to endure, not explain. They learned that love meant sacrifice, not softness. So one generation says, "You never listened to me." And the other says, "You never understood what I gave up for you." Both sides are speaking from pain. But pain, when left untranslated, becomes conflict. Technology has also changed the way generations relate to each other. In the past, older people were often the keepers of knowledge. But today, the future changes so quickly that old experience can seem less useful. A teenager can learn something from a video in 5 minutes that their grandfather never encountered in 70 years. This reversal can create a strange kind of pride. Young people may mistake technical knowledge for life wisdom. But knowing how to use technology is not the same as knowing how to live. An older person may not understand the newest platform, but they may understand heartbreak, patience, loss, and forgiveness. Modern knowledge is powerful, but it is not the only kind of knowledge. Older people are also often invisible. Imagine spending your whole life becoming someone. And then one day, strangers speak to you as if you are a problem to manage. They call you cute when you want to be respected. They call you slow when you are trying your best. They call you outdated when you have lived through more change than they can imagine. This invisibility hurts. Some older people hide it behind humor. Some become quiet. Some repeat stories because those stories are proof that they were once alive in a way the present no longer recognizes. When an older person tells the same story again, maybe they are not only forgetting, maybe they are asking, "Do I still matter to you?" And sometimes, the answer they receive is a phone held in front of someone's face. But this is not only a young person's failure. It is a social failure. We have built a world where generations live beside each other, but often not with each other. When generations do not truly know each other, stereotypes fill the empty space. Young people become selfish. Older people become out of touch. And once we turn people into labels, it becomes easier to treat them badly. The truth is, young people are not naturally cruel to older people. And older people are not naturally wise or kind simply because they are older. The problem begins when either side stops seeing the other as fully human. The young person may be anxiety, pressure, loneliness, and fear of failure. The older person may be memory, grief, endurance, regret. And love that was never taught how to speak gently. So what is the answer? It begins with curiosity. Before mocking an older person for not understanding something, ask what they had to understand in order to survive their own time. Before dismissing a young person as rude, ask what kind of world taught them to be so defensive. A society becomes healthier when the young can bring new vision without contempt. And the old can offer experience without control. Because the purpose of aging is not to defeat youth. And the purpose of youth is not to replace the old with cruelty. The purpose is continuity. One generation carries the wounds, mistakes, lessons, and hopes of the last one forward. The young are not separate from the old. They are the next chapter of the same human story. So the next time you see an older person moving slowly, asking a question, repeating a memory, or struggling to keep up, pause for a moment. You may not be looking at someone who is behind. You may be looking at someone who has already walked through storms you have not yet reached. And one day, if life is kind enough to let you grow old, someone younger will look at you. They may see a burden. They may see a stranger from another time. Or, if we teach each other better, they may see what was always there. A human being. A future version of themselves. And a reminder that dignity should not expire with age. This is Rinnigan Explained. Human mind. Social behavior. Hidden truths. If this made you see someone differently, subscribe for more calm, thoughtful explorations of psychology, human behavior, and the hidden truths behind the way we treat each other.